etc. But the novel is distinctly literary in its focus on war. Perhaps the best way to think about literary fiction is that it's uncategorized. Unlike genre fiction, which can be broken down even further into different types of fiction genres, litfic fill doesn't fall neatly into any of the genre boxes. Some literary fiction examples include To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, and A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Unlike genre fiction, literary fiction can't be subcategorized. It doesn't break down further into genre. Genre fiction, by contrast, provides us with neat categories that we can assign to different literary works. Let's take a closer look at some of those categories. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. You guys get the
Oh,
point,
you
right?
think this is Harem of the Dead, you shrimp dick fuck nugget?
Wow. I was reading this live.
Good evening, UN Space Sea Wolf Squadron. This is your Wolf Commander Wolf 10. Thank you, Eloise, for that deep and very well thought out and well read description of the difference between what was you talking about?
She was talking about two different types of fiction, literary fiction and genre fiction. Though I think it might be a bit cut out since we just started already.
Yeah, literary fiction and genre fiction. Thank you for that. By the way, this is your Wolf Commander Wolf 10. I'm your werewolf. Tonight we'll be talking about ideas, having an idea, when to execute the idea, how to execute the idea, when to quit on an idea, when an idea is going bad or stale, or how to not make an idea go stale. And what else I was gonna say?
Uh,
Oh, let me pull my let me pull up my notes. Let me pull up my notes. And how to drop them, or when to drop them, or under what circumstances do you drop the idea, and valuable lessons that you need to learn when it comes to ideas. So starting right now with the crew I have at the moment, before we get our crew bigger, we have the Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Greetings to viewers and fellow Final Fantasy fans. This is Final Fantasy Fan 012 here, and welcome back to another live stream of the UN Space Fleet Wolf Squadron. And today we are actually having another stream specifically about ideas and whether it can actually be what might be a good idea, what can actually be a bad idea, even whether by thought or even by sound, just basically ideas in general.
We have the Bear of the North, Eloise Dwaddle.
Sorry.
Well, she has been known to stump. The Bear of the North, Eloise Dwaddle. While she's foraging, we have the warrior from Finland, the master of the Vlad, Artificer Joni. Sorry, Yoni.
Good morning.
Indeed, it's morning over there.
Yeah, and I think today is Friday in California.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Greenie. You want to join us tonight? I mean, I aim to have at least... Okay, I'm going to stop. That's going to be too dirty. So everything around us was once an idea. Yeah, exactly. That is the truth. That is the God-honest truth. We even live inside what was originally an idea, or at least a survival idea. Shelter. Wow, I just got introspective right there. Took a pause there. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just already thinking right now, but I honestly have no idea where to start when talking about
So
ideas.
bear with us, everybody. This
Well,
is very.
hello everyone. I just wanted to say, since we're talking about words and ideas, I mean, if you want to go into like spiritual thing, you could say that we were once an idea.
Yeah.
I don't know, let there be light and all that stuff, like logos,
Right.
word
Right.
made
Right.
flesh. So yeah.
In his image, of course. Of course. Bear with us, guys. This has been a very impromptu. This is a very impromptu stream as well. This was not planned, so we're in a way we're kind of winging it.
Well, when I have an idea, I try to write it down as quickly as possible into a notebook, and I've got around 25 pages right now written down. Depending on how you look at it, some pages are almost blank because I want to fill in details later, and at least one page has a very crude illustration of a mech.
My way of doing ideas is usually sometimes I come up with a I tend to look around me at times. Sometimes I look to the sky, sometimes I look to the ground, I look to the trees, and then something just pops up into my head. I don't understand how it happens or the process of it. It's just that sometimes I'll ask myself, what if this? What if that? But then I expand upon that idea as well into other ideas, and then sometimes I try to mesh them together. Sometimes I'll just break them apart and say them for some other usage. Speaking of which, one idea that I had, and it's still in the works too, by the way, was another story I was writing originally when I was in elementary school, actually. Star Force, changing the name, by the way. It was Star Fox and Star Wars put together with a mixture of Captain Bucky O'Hare. Crickets.
No, it sounds very much what I would have done if I had been into Star Fox when I was in elementary school as well.
Or mainly is because I happened to play Star Fox 64. Back then, I had the pleasure of watching Captain Bucky O'Hare. And of course, there was Star Wars. Star Wars, I didn't even actually watch the movies per se at that time yet, except for maybe a snippet of Return of the Jedi. But Star Wars was everywhere. You know, at that point. So I pretty much was familiar with a lot of things Star Wars before we even got the prequels, to be exact. And so like I put that together as it started off as Star Force where they're just fighting where they're fighting the Dino Empire, as I called it. There is a Dino Darth Vader as well. Now I changed everything. I actually revisited and just retooled it for everything. We have Iron Cast Knight here too, and Victoria Fagbao.
I think I saw Humble in the chat.
Yeah,
Humble.
yeah, he was already there earlier.
She.
She.
Stop misgendering her.
Every single time I do that. I don't know why.
Misgendering her, you heathen.
Microaggression.
So I got to get to work early tomorrow. I will mention once when I was still in school, I misheard someone say Lake of Ice as Lake of Eyes. Nice. William, hey, what's up? Early cartoons I saw. Oh yeah. I know. I'm just teasing. Sorry.
You're okay.
Nice. Speaking of your character, I still need to get back to you on the messenger chat that we had where I read some of your book. She's writing a book, by the way, everybody. And I told her I was going to read some. I'm sorry, I haven't been forthcoming about that yet. But you gave me a lot to work with, so I'll find time to look through your writing. I like what I read what I skimmed through so far, but I'm gonna go back and read it slowly. Who wants to take this? Who wants to take another stab?
Hmm. I guess I would from how I come up with ideas. How I come up with ideas, it all just comes down from not only from Final Fantasy, but other stories that I would, whatever stories that I would basically would be inspired by, like, or even some forms of poetry, like one with the nine knightly virtues said by King Arthur, which would be like a whole generational family. But yet, what it all comes down to with me coming up with ideas for stories, it all always comes down to archetypes and mythology, because I like Professor Geek's videos, and that's basically one of the things that would want me to write characters is from their archetypes. At least for writing, because that's how I would write heroes and villains, is what's going to be their archetype. Plus, whatever's going to be their journey that they would basically have to go through.
Yeah, starting with archetypes is always a good point. That I view using archetypes as that you have a pre-made skeleton for a character that you can then flesh out and add details onto. And my process creating is getting ideas is it's that I look into literature, I look into mythology and folklore, and then I let my subconsciousness work on it, and then it later comes as a stream of consciousness as an idea, and because I try to do I just write the thing. I try to feel as if my characters are telling me the details of the world, and it definitely feels as one character in particular is sort of my muse. And he was one of those characters that he stepped out almost fully fleshed out of my mind.
Stop the press, everybody. We have Ubering in the starlight of the group, the star mother with a babe in growing a little. Excuse me, our sailor lover, star storyteller.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
You're doing really well, actually.
Good, that's good. Don't mind me.
Get in here. We're
weird
telling
sounds
war
on-
stories.
Oh, war stories. Uh-oh.
No, we're not. We were just talking about
Tell us
archetypes.
about the horrors of driving through the streets.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
I
good
don't
idea.
do that job as much anymore. Right now I'm working more for my dad. Yeah, so
Oh, she upgraded.
a little bit. Yeah, well, actually quite a bit. It's a lot less I really miss it in some ways because I like driving around, but not with these gas prices. Good Lord. They do not compensate.
Tell me about it.
Did you hear recently they're going to make multiple payments for Uber Eats now? I'm like,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
really-
it's going downhill. Yeah, as a
Oh.
customer, I just I would open the app and I would just see all these charges and stuff, and yeah, it's not looking good.
no, they just oh yes, we hate Trump, we hate what's going on, and the adults are here and look what happened. Absolute crap. I'm sorry. I don't mean to go there.
It's fine. We all kind of share the same sentiment because we're all starving for gas.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
I gotta play that Lavelle Crawford clip about gas. And this was back when Bush fucked up the gas prices. Just hearing him talking about how he was filling up his gas tank one time, and a little droplet of gas almost fell out, and he caught it with both hands, and with both hands he pushed that thing right back to the tank. Or one time where he said, or one time he said somebody tried to rob him while he was filling his gas tank, or at least try to rob, steal his car, and he took the gas pump and started drinking the gas, which is impossible, but it's part of the joke.
Oh god.
My God.
I've actually like smelled gas before, like straight out of
Yeah,
the.
I don't think
I
that's
don't-
something that you would want to inhale.
Yeah.
Believe you and me, there are people that actually do get high off of gas.
I just remember one time when I was visiting my mom's country, something happened to like the pump that was pumping gas, so they had this long hose, and there was somebody like, you know how you sip a straw, so they were sipping the the hose, and that's how they were getting gas into the tanker.
Oh, they were siphoning it, where
Yeah.
they blow it and it you suck it and then it like the force of it goes through the hose and stuff.
Yeah, I
That makes
tried that
sense.
once, and
It's
I just
in your
it-
mouth, didn't it?
yeah, it tastes like it smells.
Why would you even try doing that?
Because she thought.
I don't know. Yeah, I was a kid, and I just saw the adults doing that, like to get gas. So I was like, let me try doing that, and then yeah, that's what I remember.
It's like the most dangerous circus act ever. Or even like in Showbiz, the from Looney Tunes, where Daffy is just now the star of the show, but yet his spotlight gets stolen by Bugs Bunny, and yet he does exactly that trick, but in the
It's
process
only-
he accidentally blows himself up.
It's only now that I realize that the reason why, like, they say it may have been like because the pump broke down, but I think it's that they got that gas somewhere that wasn't all too legal.
Mm-hmm.
When did this happen exactly?
It was back in my mom's country. Like, we were
Oh.
visiting, so it's like the third world.
Oh, so that's where you can get away with some like not underhanded, but maybe not the most
Slightly
Uh,
unethical methods.
yes.
Yeah.
It's where they're justified because of the shitty state they're in.
Well, kinda not. Like, I mean, they kind of did that to themselves when they decided to, let's go revolution, yeah, and then they got worse people. But to be fair to them, the previous guy that they like dethroned, like, he was borrowing a lot of money from the World Bank and just like got the country in debt. It's not, but it's not like the new guy is any better. I mean, he also has like a wife that's a witch, so that's causing problems with like the people of the country who do not like the fact that.
Hold up. A wife that's a witch? Like
Yes.
are we talking a cult witch or just a bitch?
No, like an actual witch. Like, it's causing problems
Someone
with.
believes that they're a
with-
witch.
Yeah, I don't believe that she can actually do stuff, but like, I mean, this is the same country where one of the myths of the country is that a priest climbed the biggest mountain where a gate of hell stood, and he put a cross there, and since that day forth, like the mountain, like no one saw anything come out from the mountaintop. Like, there was no earthquake, no nothing, no activity that was pouring down the mountain. So like,
That's metal.
Which country is this?
it's Nicaragua.
Oh, cool. All right.
So
Wow.
Mount Messiah, I think that's what they call the mountain.
That's cool. Like,
So like, they don't approve of having a president that has a wife that's a witch.
well, to be fair, we most of our government in America are occultists and weirdos, so they just
Yeah.
pretend like they're not, but they really are.
Yeah, I heard lately that it's actually coming
Ain't that
true
just
that
because
they're
how- ain't that
they're
just because of
Satanists
how
and stuff like
politics
that.
are just super
Wouldn't
paranoid?
surprise me. That's where the way that they pursue power. Okay, let's get back to the subject. We were talking
Yeah.
about ideas.
Yep.
Yeah, because just recently, Joni and I were just talking about archetypes specifically within mythology. Or Yoni, actually. Sorry.
Yoni is how I pronounce it. Yoni.
Yeah, Yoni. My mistake.
No, it's okay. It's like there's a huge. You could call it we're separated by a common alphabet. In that English pronounces the Latin alphabet pretty much completely differently compared to other languages, where it's more of a minor pronunciation difference. And I recently noticed that the letter Y is one of those letters that is pronounced differently depending on language. We have some workers from Bangladesh, and one of our Finnish workers was trying to explain how to pronounce a certain word, can't remember which one, but it has several Y's and A's and E's, and the Bangladeshi worker had trouble getting the Y, right.
Greeny has an idea. You never gave me your opinion on pairing a witch with a werewolf or a witch who runs a restaurant. That's only because I'm still wrapping my mind around that. With a witch with a werewolf, are you talking about in romance or something more darker? As far as a witch who runs a restaurant, that's kind of been done before.
I'm pretty sure that.
What was
Pretty
that
sure-
movie? The one with the delivery service?
Kiki's Deliveries.
Yeah.
Or what was it? I didn't watch it, but I just heard about it. The one with the three witches. I can't remember. It was a TV show in the 90s. I'm blanking really bad.
Oh,
Charmed?
No.
Charmed.
Yeah.
One of them owned a restaurant or something.
Oh my god, I loved watching that.
That
I
not
heard
my-
it was bad though, but I was a kid when I was watching it, so I didn't know any.
No, Charm was fine.
No, but like the ending.
Oh well, the
Yeah.
ending was just bad. Well, first of all, got rid of the fourth one, and then the fourth sister, and then I guess it was like a dick measuring contest between, or should I say, boob measuring contest, between two of the main leads. I can't remember. One is Alyssa Milano, who totally is nuts, and then the other girl, who she's a little bit nutty, but she's kind of more based than
Rose McGowan.
Yeah, Rose is definitely based at AF, especially about it's so interesting to watch those two like go parallel and then go opposite directions. It's kind of interesting actually. Rose McGowan's story is actually quite fascinating. She was actually homeless and like born from a cult and stuff. Just like really fascinating story actually. But anyway, sorry. Tangent.
Neil starts talking about Kokinoi's upbringing. That's fast. That's even fascinating because I played Blaze Blue, and it's fucking hilarious how things work in that world.
Maybe
Yeah,
you could
because
have
anytime whenever time travel is involved with Blaze Blue, which time travel is a pretty complicated subject, Blaze Blue takes that to the nth degree of this.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna say, Star?
Well, it's interesting. The witch thing made me think of a real story that happened in China. This guy came up with there was this restaurant and it was like noodles based, and it was super like people kept coming back and forth. And later on, one of the
Well, the Junji Ito?
yeah, people eat them. Like they eat the noodles. And
No. They pulled a Junji Ito in China.
Well,
Let her
they
finish.
were super addictive. Like people couldn't figure out why they were so addictive until a customer that got pulled over, he tested positive for heroin, or not heroin, opium. And he was like, "No, I didn't do that." And so finally, he figured out. Well, wait a minute. The only thing I know that I've just been eating at this restaurant constantly. So he had his relatives go take the test themselves, take it, and they tested positive for opium. And the guy literally ground a ton of opium into his noodles, and it was like, and that's how he was making hand over fist, apparently.
Yep. I remember seeing that. It was in I think it was a YouTube short.
Oh, just like, but that's how it. I'm not surprised in post-communist countries. It's no bueno, man.
Hmm.
It's
I
like,
don't think it was the actual opium. It was more like the seeds.
yeah,
like-
or something, but it was enough to test positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you cook poppy seeds in a right way, you get opium. So
I guess it sounded like he had the right idea.
apparently,
So maybe the witch is like making her food super addictive, so people keep
You know what?
coming back.
That leads us to our session. Like, let's talk about an idea that we once had. I already started with my Star Fox mixed with Captain Bucky O'Hare and Star Wars. Who's got an idea that they've been wanting to talk about?
Hmm.
all right.
Like an
All right,
old
you go
idea
first.
or a more current idea?
Both. You pick.
I know I already talked about one of my, pretty much quite a few of my ideas a lot on this channel, but what else is there?
I was actually gonna ask Final, how far along are you to developing? It's the one about all the warriors, right? I forgot what it's called.
Must resist.
The
Famous line.
uh-oh.
What did I do?
Must
warriors,
resist.
come out and play.
He said, not me.
I'm not sure what it even is, but it probably could be
Oh
anything.
no, I know what it's a gangster movie. Well, actually, it's more a gang movie. It's in the 70s. Warriors come out to play. It's by the creepy. It's the creepy dude says it.
Clink, 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 warriors, come out and play.
It actually is pretty like it's a good chase. It's a chase and fight movie, basically.
And freaking Rockstar made into a beat 'em up game, and it was awesome.
I
The
do
first-
recommend.
One of the first successful 3D beat 'em up games, The Warriors.
Oh,
I never really heard anything about that, but I'm still on my edge of what the hell he was even going to say.
Please elaborate on your anthology, Greenie. Elaborate.
So what was the question?
No.
Sorry.
Share your
So the-
ideas. What
Well-
ideas you had, either old or new?
Well, I know that because we were doing that pitch show, and it was the one with the different warriors who they're all like different elements, and it's gonna be nuts. This is why you keep your pitches really short so people can remember it.
Mm,
Sorry.
you're okay. I mean, I'm
Well,
oh, sorry, Eloise.
oh, okay. Well, an old idea. I remember
Oh, wait.
that I wanted to write a story about Magic
There you go.
Knights, but I remember right around that time, it was also when Black Clover came out, and I was just, I was kind of surprised. I was thinking, damn, if I write this now, like people are gonna think I'm like imitating Black Clover, but
Oh.
it turns out it was nothing like when I watched a bit of Black Clover, because I read a bit of the manga. It was nothing like that.
Oh, interesting.
The idea I had was essentially there were knights that can trace their lineage back to the Knights of the Round Table, but some of them can, not all of them. But essentially, they were guards that would keep the peace between like wizards and witches and the regular world.
an
Between
urban
the
fantasy
magic-
story.
Yeah. So
That's
my
cool.
idea was it was kind of like Portal Fantasy in a way, but they're like the ones keeping the two worlds from crisscrossing in dangerous ways.
So Border Patrol for magic.
Yeah.
They're ice.
I guess you could say that. They essentially make sure that the witches and wizards don't get too carried away with their ideas, and they also like run communication as like ambassadors with the non-magical world.
Oh, interesting.
And what they would do is they would learn how to use swords, and they would learn smithing to smith the swords, and from there kind of have like an elemental blade, something like that. So that's what they would do.
But they had
they-
to make the blade themselves.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
they would apprentice under a knight, and then they would make the swords themselves, and from there, that's how the like if the sword lasts long enough, if it gets passed down and things like that, it could become sentient.
Oh, interesting. Did you like? Is it more of like all the characters are one age range, or could you have like did the idea have like different age ranges?
Different age ranges. There were the
Ooh.
knights who would be older, and then there would be the squires, and then there would be the pages.
Oh, cool. So it has like the whole like there's something to be said about that, because I feel like a lot of like fiction usually focuses on young people for a good reason, because your potential you can kind of be said. But I think a lot of like why I think teenagers really feel like disassociated is that they're not really apprenticed by the culture
Yeah,
at
I
large.
saw a video from Short Fat Otaku when he talked about there's no closure, there's no rite of passage anymore.
Right. Or passing the torch, as it were.
Okay,
Yeah.
the drawbridge is down. Make way for the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell.
Hi, Dominic.
Dominic, how you doing?
Oh, listen to her get sweet on you.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Good evening or afternoon, everyone.
Anyways, now some my ideas. I know you were about to ask me about something as I was about to let Eloise talk about at least her ideas. You were about to ask that I was still working on my story of Light and Darkness, and yes, I am. I'm currently 14 chapters into the written script, and now getting started on chapter 2 of the edited script of the story.
That's awesome.
So yeah, there will be ideas tweaked on Light and Darkness, sometimes I've been thinking about like Guy, the Light Warrior of Earth. He might actually have a wife in the story who's not in the written script at all. They don't have children. They only have 3 adopted kids, which have to be Fotia, Animos, and Astrapi, which they are the Light Warriors of Fire, Wind, and Thunder, respectively. So yeah, they were basically the adopted children. Other ideas like I might have like an additional scene with Gormandis in somewhere, maybe in chapter 2, actually. Because chapter 2 is right where we see who the warriors are when they're not fighting the orcs, because they've been fighting the 3 kingdoms that they are a part of. They've been fighting the orcs for years now. Gormandis has a lot of scars on him because he's been through a lot with them. But yet, even though the orcs are the strongest race, they constantly fail to them because of how much they've been working together. And so now we have this. Now in chapter 2, we see what the 3 kingdoms are when they're not actually fighting the orcs. So we also get in touch of what warriors are in their downtime.
That's pretty cool.
Can't wait for you to publish it.
I mean, I would have to figure out at least exactly how, as soon as all of this is just as finished. So I think Star, you actually said to me on one stream that Amazon actually has a program where you basically would publish a lot of stories straight onto Amazon. They would actually like help you publish it. Is that right?
Yes, there is. Granted, I'm probably gonna. I'm really looking more at it, even though purely for the fact that Amazon. If it's on Amazon, someone's gonna buy it because it's like, oh, hey, look, it's on Amazon, and I'll just buy it outright. But even though I have problems with the company itself, but I think there might be other options to do. But they do. It is true. Actually, if you wanted to do a comic version, Clip Studio Paint has, I think they actually have like the right stuff that you need to, specifically for comics, they have it where they can format for you. So that's a cool thing. But written, I think, you'd have to talk to Ishiro Finney about that. I think he said that you have to do it on Word docs for that one, or maybe there might be another program you use. You do have to use Word doc, but if you have Word doc, there you go.
Go to the Kindle Publishing website because it's a portal for like writers, and it usually tells you what are the requirements to upload on Amazon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
One thing you have to keep in mind is that you need the barcode label. Like, that every book has this barcode label that it scans and it identifies it. Like, if you get the one, Amazon offers you one for free, but the thing is, if you get the Amazon one, you can only sell, like, that one on Amazon. You can only sell on Amazon. So, what happened?
I think it's called an SQ. Maybe?
I think so. I don't know the exact name, but if you get one from like a broker, because usually they're the ones who have the labels. That's what Kat told me. Then you can sell it anywhere, like sell the book anywhere, not just Amazon.
Okay.
Hang on, guys.
Actually, looking at Clip Studio Paint right now, and actually kind of interested.
Hang on, guys.
It's not that expensive.
Green has an idea here that she wrote down, and from what I read, it reminds me of this one horror film that's kind of like anthological in its writing about Santa fighting Krampus. It reminds me of that movie, but I'd like for you to go through with it, Green, when you're getting done with your writing idea, or at least the book that you're writing. Man, it was this one movie that was on Netflix back when Netflix was actually good to decent, where it's not really much so about Santa fighting Krampus. It's just that like while he's doing that, he's like dealing with his workshop being corrupted by Krampus, and his elves are trying to kill him. While this is happening, a lot of people who are waiting for Santa to deliver presents are going through their own crises, like a child being lost or at least missing, and they have to find the child. And I can't for the life of me remember what all that went down, but it was a cool horror movie to be for sure. Santa used a freaking cane to fight Krampus and kick his ass for sure. Kicks all of his elves' ass too. Even had to kill his own wife, which was heartbreaking. Mrs. Claus dies. Spoilers. Sorry.
Well then,
Humble has a suggestion. Teespring.
Yeah, I guess I can look around.
I've been thinking like all that's gonna be left of Barnes and Nobles is gonna be the app at the rate they're going. So there's the Nook app. I think that's what it's called. I don't remember.
Yeah. The Nook app.
Like they used to sell their own Nooks, like back when ebooks started being a thing, but then the Amazon Kindle came out and that kind of like collapsed their sales.
This is juvenile joke. Must resist.
Ah,
Juvenile joke.
Don't
Oh, yeah.
resist it. Let it flow.
Oh no.
Throw it out there.
no.
Coming bars and Noah's talking about. I come here for the nookie. The what? The nookie. The what? So you can take the cookie.
It's not that kind. Well,
Oh,
there
I
are
actually,
some explicit books, but
I did
I
talk
was
about.
coming with a fucking boombox and blast that shit. Go ahead, Final. What you gonna say?
Yeah, I actually was about to tell Star because I actually had an idea of what kind of art style I was looking for my graphic novel of Light and Darkness.
Yeah, you
Yoni
did
was
pick a good art style for it. I was like, I'm all
Yeah.
for that. But
yeah,
yeah,
Yoni was
elaborate.
actually there for this. It was it's the art style by I'm looking at
Joe
the name right
Mad.
now.
Joe Mad of
No.
Battle Chasers fame.
Oh no, the art style I was trying to look for, but then I found it. It was Takatoshi Shiozawa. He's the mangaka behind the Final Fantasy Type 0 manga.
Ah, yes.
no, of course, your name's Final. There's got to be some Final influence in there somewhere.
I mean,
He wears his
absolutely.
influence on his sleeve, and
Oh, yeah.
that's all good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
His full name
Because-
is Final Fantasy Fan, so like
yeah, because a lot of the fantasy works that I would have in mind, and especially some of the fantasy works in the future, what they would all have in common is their basis of inspiration, which traces all the way back to Final Fantasy.
Hey, man, you know,
So,
if
I mean,
it
of
works,
course
it
there would
works.
be-
wait,
of
so
course there
are
would
you
be
gonna actually use that name when you publish like written by Final Fantasy Fan
Are you
012?
kidding me?
No, that would just
No.
be my actual name. That'd just be the name of my channel.
Damn.
I mean,
She
what,
sounds
you think Critical
disappointed.
Drinker sells his books by putting on his channel name instead of his real name?
No, it's because like what's his name? I forgot what his name was.
I mean,
One
I
of the
know his name was
authors.
William.
No, one of the authors Fiona follows, like he uses the actual name something Knight. I can't remember what his name was.
His screen
And
name.
it's yeah, he uses the actual random screen name he has.
You know
Hmm.
what? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think some people just are like, especially with how
You know,
everybody's into
James.
canceling everybody for the most, especially if you do like not safe for work stuff.
Yep.
E.L. James. That ain't her fucking real name.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
no,
there would be
there are
other
some
channels
really
that would
straight
use their
parents these days.
Oh. Yeah, many YouTube channels would basically use their actual YouTube names. Like I think FGTV actually use their channel name to publish their graphic novel. I forgot what it was though.
Oh. No, I was gonna say, especially now with that author getting stabbed in New York.
Ah, yeah,
I don't-
Salman Rushdie.
Yeah.
I actually, well, speaking of him, I actually checked, and while he's, oh, hold on. Okay, so I did check on his current status, and he will be making a full, well, not exactly full recovery, but he is recovering from the attack.
Who?
Salman
who got
Rushdie. He was stabbed while making a lecture or public appearance, and he is recovering, thankfully.
What did he write?
He was critical of Islam, so the
Oh,
supreme leader of Iran put a fatwa on him, and that basically means any Muslim has free reign to like kill him in order to get a free entry into heaven. It's kind of the equivalent of it's like if the Pope said, "Hey, kill this person," and you get I forgot what it was called, and
Oh,
Catholic.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, Rashad is considered a sellout by his own people.
not a
I got-
sellout, more like a traitor. That's what they view him
Yeah.
as.
Well,
So the
actually,
view-
They're one and the same.
it's not.
I
it's,
think a
so
sellout
the
is
word
less
for-
severe. Like a sellout is just
True.
someone who becomes loses authenticity, but like a traitor is someone who betrays.
Yeah, no. There's
Absolutely.
a word. It's
Yeah,
gonna
because it's
come
in the
to
name of traitor.
oh my gosh, not infidel because that's like if you're out of it. Blanking. There's like
Apostate.
An apostate?
Apostate is
Where
the word
is
you're
it?
searching for.
yes.
It's an apostate.
Yep.
But I
I was
feel
gonna
like there's
say,
another
where is
term
Willie
too.
when we
But
need
yeah,
him?
huh?
I'm sorry. I was saying, where is Twilly when we need him?
No,
Yep.
don't worry. He'll be back next time.
I like that.
Yeah, indulgences. That's what I was looking for. It's kind of like the equivalent of the Pope saying, "Hey, I'll give you this indulgence if you go kill that guy over there." Except it's
Ah.
like a fatwa.
Just Neo's kind of. What do you think of Riser Man fighting a giant purple octopus? I mean, I wouldn't even mind that because I mean, hell, the Justice League fought a giant mind-controlling starfish since their very first appearance, even though Batman and Superman were not even in the picture yet. I mean, hey, I wouldn't even mind because if that's just gonna be there as a reference to Final Fantasy, or if it's just gonna be there as to fight some sort of aquatic creature, why the hell not?
So Neostar, to answer your question, so then what's a heretic? A heretic is someone heretical, which means outside of. So it's someone taking it and then making it into what it wasn't intended to be.
One example of a heresy would be for Christianity. Jesus was merely a man. That's a heresy.
Yeah, that would be heretical, and that was what the Gnostics believed, and they also believed that the body was evil.
Yeah, so basically,
Or to be more precise, it depends on which school of Gnosticism on the status of Jesus, and it's not that the body is evil; it's that the material world was created by an evil or incompetent creator deity who doesn't care for mortals.
And also doesn't like women, and Gnostics.
That again depends on school and. There are many schools of Gnosticism, and the position of women varied between them. Some are surprisingly egalitarian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing 2 yonis.
Yeah, and I've noticed an echo for me as well. I don't know why.
Hello?
Not anymore.
Oh, that
I
was
don't know
weird.
why that was echoing.
So that answers your star, Neo.
Yeah, so basically think in fiction of kind of heretics, think the heretic faction from Halo 2, which is the first boss in the game in Halo 2.
Is there a difference?
Well, not really, because
people.
Yeah, because they're just called.
Look down.
Oh.
Unless we're talking Judas. Judas did both. He betrayed and he got money for it.
Yeah, exactly my point. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
And sellout is more used for artists and the like that. Oh, so and so indie bands went to a big label. What sellouts? That way.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
You sold us out.
Or like raging for the machines. You know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, those guys are those guys are major hypocrites.
Corporations.
Man, we're so chill. We done lost the damn plot.
Yep.
If I may, 2 things. My older brother knows one of the co-owners for a indie publishing house here. So when I get my novel done, I'm gonna go that route first, then the major publishing houses if that isn't viable. Second, I recently had an idea for you could call it a cyberpunk story that, as you know, there's a huge gender difference in China right now. And what if Japan was the country to create gynoids, because of course they'd be the ones first, and that would cause political instability in China because lonely men want a wife and they don't care if it's a robot. That would cause, of course, splintering, and then you could have various characters react to the situation, there'd be of course the heavily authoritarian figures. Then you could have more lawful neutral types that just want to have order, even if it's just in the city they are working in. And then you could have the more libertarian types and the more progressive elements that who want to change China into a more modern society that works more in tune with the rest of the world, and instead of trying to be the old imperial, yes, we are the central kingdom, we are supposed to rule the entire world.
Does Taiwan still exist in this universe?
Oh yeah.
What about Hong
I've
Kong?
never heard all that.
Hong Kong, I didn't think about Hong Kong, but definitely there would be a start of the successionist movements there, and ideas would spread to the rest of the Chinese areas from there, because Hong Kong has been traditionally one of those port cities where new ideas come in and go out. And
yeah, that does make sense. So is it so it's basically that this is about wife robots, right?
Well, that would be like a starting point of the series, that the actual focus would be on the actual people. The wife bots would be more of a I don't know.
Oh, so kind of more exploring like transhumanism.
Well, sure.
Kind of the and like the themes, whether people are cyborgs, like they change their eyes out. I probably would do that, to be honest, because my eyesight's so bad. And then like you could put like cool different. And
How are you going to be able to reproduce if your wife is a robot?
It's artificial wombs.
Dude.
Artificial wombs. You know what though? Like seriously, I think we should start looking into that, because that might solve like the whole like, you know, abortion pro-life thing if you can create an artificial womb. Because at that point you could do like something where you start a human and then you create like an artificial womb for that human. So then it's not a woman carrying it. It's a fake one. So you could arguably use it for like, I don't know, like trans members of the family or something. I mean, or something else, but you just got to get to a point where
One of these days we gotta talk about Armitage III and Vandred. One
Uh-oh.
of these days. And you're along for the right start if we do it on a Friday.
if it's a Friday is a better time, like a Friday. And this was like a blue moon kind of, I don't have anything. And it's like my week, like my
Well, the question is, you're a child of old school anime. Are you familiar with Vandred and Armitage III?
It sounds
I have seen both.
really, really familiar. It sounds very familiar, and I think if I saw it, I'd recognize it. But again, I just I didn't. I usually ended up reading more manga than watching anime, to be honest. But it sounds really familiar. It just sounds very familiar to me.
Armitage the Third is Blade Runner with wife robots, and Vandred is
Gender studies the anime.
pretty much man
But
planet
totally
and woman planet have to
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I haven't watched it. I just know it exists. So it's like the War of the Sexes, quite literal. It would be interesting, because it would be kind of interesting to finally see if OnlyFans would go out of if you got sex robots, right? Oh boy.
They can't
You
compete.
Oh, great.
Holy shit! I just thought of
They can't
that.
compete with that.
Who's mad?
Ay.
But we already got sex dolls. I mean, imagine if sex dolls had to be cheap to buy now.
Guys, remember when what
There was a
it?
guy who married his sex doll and then cheated on her.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Well, and
wow.
then there's that really sad guy who he married Heiku Mitsune.
Oh yeah, I
but
remember that.
it doesn't work anymore, so he's just like really sad. Like the program isn't gonna work anymore. So it's like his AI is like dying and won't update, and he's like, "What? That is so sad."
Add it into her.
Well, she's basically she can't update because she can't upgrade because the program doesn't exist anymore. It's really sad. But there was no. I was thinking specifically of a virtual. What do they call it? VR. It was
Virtual
a VR
reality?
OnlyFans
Yeah.
thing, and she just shot to the top, and everybody else was just losing their effing
Oh yeah, I
mind.
remember that.
Oh yeah.
It was a VTuber.
Oh, it was so funny though. Like I'm just observing. Like I don't actually watch it.
Yeah, that's
I
Vandred. What you see on the picture right in front of you, that's Vandred.
Oh.
Even though I've
yeah,
never seen it.
I've
Even
never
though
seen
I've never
it,
seen it.
but
I just heard
I've
about
heard
this
of it.
now, thanks to
My
you.
homeboy introduced me to that, and I borrowed his complete set, and I had to fill in the rest of the blanks because I had to give it back to him because it was obviously it's his. I had to fill in the rest of the blanks when WGN the I don't know what the fuck that meant. What was it? No, it was the Wham channel. Sorry, the Wham channel kind of broadcast it, and I finished it up. That show is freaking amazing. Any anime fan should at least have watched Vandred. It's got freaking Frieza in that show, or at least the original voice actress for Frieza.
Original Japanese or an English dub, Frieza?
Dub.
Oh.
I'm a sub.
Saiyans, I hate you.
I am a sub. Wait. No, not that.
I was about to
Anyway.
go all in on that one.
Walked into that one.
Oh
Man, you caught
my.
that fast. You must have learned the mastery art from Drax himself.
Oh God.
That
okay.
Frieza voice, and then it's followed by a fart noise. It sounded like he was just constipated for some reason. Like what? Is he constipated? Like he just had to go to the bathroom and just like, I hate you.
Well, anyway, Yanni, that was
Oh my
really
god.
an interest. It's a cool idea. I mean, especially if you're doing more of the exploration of how that all will work together.
There's something I want to give you. What is that? A present. I'll welcome you with my own language. That means come at me if you can. Thanks, but no thanks. By the way, they played the voice backwards for Frieza's language, so he talks backwards in his own language. That's really funny. Okay.
No, that just started to remind me. I recently watched Twin Peaks, and they used a similar technique that the actor spoke the lines backwards, and then they like played it backwards so that it sounded like sort of normal speech.
Oh,
Ain't that
interesting.
kind of the same? Ain't that kind of the same when they made Jabba the Hutt speak, where he speaks a normal language, but yet he's speaking backwards?
Oh, I didn't see Green Lion's idea there. Sorry. It was,
Okay.
I did come up with one or other ideas that I'm debating on developing later. One has a run rate team that can warp or face through walls, stealing for a street gain while avoiding his mom, a police officer. Oh boy. Christmas, this must be a hoot.
I don't know, but I kind of feel like I'm getting vibes from Kitty Pryde from the X-Men whenever I'm thinking of that, minus them that her mother is a cop, but still.
Who else has like shared an idea yet? Or hasn't yet, I should say.
Damn, y'all can't even think of y'all damn commander. Okay.
I mean, you already have, haven't you?
That was earlier, but I had another one.
Oh, well, do tell. It's your show.
It's been
Oh wait,
a story.
Dom hasn't even shared his idea.
That is true, so I'll let him go first.
Unless if he has one.
No,
I'm sure he's got a lot.
No, I do, but you might need to wait for a bit. I need to take out dinner.
Okay.
Damn, motherfucker, when are you not busy?
It's better. It's better to be productive than to sit around your butt on a couch.
I
He's
feel
not
attacked.
wrong. I'm out here like doing cards here for my work, actually. So this is
Damn, I feel
perfect.
attacked.
It's that hustle. Well, more like just maintenance in my case, but
So I would share my idea, but that needs to be put on hold. That needs to be put on hold because I'm about to have dinner.
Cool.
Okay. So I guess
pitch.
Wolf might as well take over from there with his other idea that he might have in mind.
This once again I've been talking about a few times on the streams here and there. It's about the idea of the demon that escapes from hell, or at least bets the devil on escaping from hell, and he has to go through each circle to get through that way. So he's basically a violence demon. So you know what number he's starting at. And he has to work his way up there. The thing is that I have to still work on the abilities of each circle demon, and each circle is the door is guarded by a designated demon. And so far, the sloth demon is the only one that I could think of that has any significant power. Where if you make the sloth demon put an effort into the fight, then prepare for an infinite world of hurt.
Oh boy.
because they pack in a lot of wasted potential within them. So I figured a way of how the demon's going to defeat the sloth demon. He tricks him to going back to being unproductive.
Through cleverness.
Yep. Whereas most of the demons he faced so far have been him brute forcing his way through it. By the way, that's Armitage III. She's a cyborg that can make babies. She's an android that can make babies. And the feminists want her dead in her story.
I also watched the sequel series to that, which was pretty good as well. But yeah, what was that? Oh yeah, what the Green Lions girl wrote reminded me that when making a world, take into consideration that the more mundane utilitarian aspects of your superpowers or your magic. Because when I thought about the Marvel X-Men, I thought that, yeah, this seems like a very American way of dealing with mutants in a way, or a hackneyed civil rights metaphor at times. Because I thought, wait, in Finland we have a universal male conscription, and in a fictional universe, I suppose they would also include women as well into the system, especially if the mutant powers had a military potential. Because if you had a guy who can make, like, for example, bullets disappear and such, are you gonna really treat him as a complete outcast, or would you make him a star member of your military? Just as an example. And if somebody had healing powers, wouldn't you want to use that to heal? And of course, Finland was one of the last countries in Europe to convert, in that while the rest of Europe had the Protestant Reformation and the religious wars, Finns still worshipped
Yoni.
I didn't catch that first part.
While rest of Europe had the religious Reformation and the war between Catholics and Protestants, Finland still had pagan worshippers. So the idea of magic being a good thing stayed positive here a whole lot longer. So that could be used in fiction, that magic or superpowers would be used in a utilitarian way.
Or kind of like how Storm was revered as a goddess because she controlled the rain. So like, oh, cool. That's just cool. Yay.
Indeed.
Well, I still haven't figured out how the violence den is going to get through the lust circle.
He'll counter temptation along the way when he gets there.
Oh, there will be temptation, but I'm trying to figure out how he's going to defeat
You know,
the
the mutant thing never made sense to me, especially in a world where they use serum for Captain America. Why couldn't they just...
There's a lot of arguments there, and truth be told, like I've said before, had I was given free range, excuse me, should I have gone to Marvel if I had to work with Marvel per se? And if I was given X-Men, my thing would have been mutant rights now. Like that, like we should have closed that conflict a long time ago.
You know, in a way it did. In a way it did. However, as time passed and new writers come in, like they want to reverse things back to the status quo, which when you think about it, like in the long term, it doesn't make sense because as time passed, like even before, when like Claremont and other writers were involved in the X titles, and after they left, we saw human mutant relations improve. Plus, it's through those titles it was shown like not every human being on the planet has an irrational fear or hatred towards mutants.
I mean, that could easily be like a whole arc for the.
Actually, to be fair,
X-Men's
though,
now
there
suddenly,
is a reason.
humans suddenly just now treating mutants with respect after the
him.
mutant rights gets passed on, and then suddenly that would give the X-Men a bit more closure, and now they're suddenly being treated. Now Professor X's vision of treating others as equal now suddenly comes to fruition thanks to that right, and that's basically their whole arc.
Go ahead, Star.
If you think about it, there is a reason why people have issues, like very legitimate issues. If people have the ability to go through walls, if people have the ability to do that, there is legitimate reasons. Like there's reasons why women don't always necessarily trust men because they're bigger than them and they can prey upon them. And I'm talking like instinctual. We can try to do all this fluffy stuff and be like,
I understand, but like, I mean, in the eyes of the law, like, how, like, why are the mutants still like that when they had a guy who proved himself useful, like surviving a super soldier serum? Why couldn't they just offer that same deal to the mutants?
You can still have mutant rights now, but still have conflict. You can still always have conflict. It doesn't. Just because they get rights doesn't automatically mean it erases the hatred other people have of mutants.
Yeah, and it's also
that I understand. It's more like I just can't. Like what I'm trying to say is like it didn't make sense for the government to continue to like persecute them. Yeah, like exactly. Especially when like they had a guy who took super serum and just
went to World War II and literally just went in and punched Hitler in the face.
But they're not the same. They were born with their powers. He was made.
Well, here's the other thing. Look at like gun owners, man. There's constant stuff.
It might be because the
anything more
powers
powerful than them. That's
true. That's true. I guess like Captain America because he was made by them. Then, damn, we're defaulting back to that argument.
Or maybe because of
the thing is, I would say is,
I guess it's like I guess now you could use mutants for gun owners. I don't know.
They won't
I,
like
What a-
that.
I legitimately have thought about that. Like, what would be like mutant as mutants as people who have some kind of power like that, and would they be treated differently? With like, okay, they have like red flag laws, they have all sorts of stuff. So then it's like, are they less likely to receive psychiatric treatment because if they seem like they're going to rage out, then people won't. More subtle stuff, like kind of more of that nuanced stuff where it's like, okay, having natural defenses like that's inborn in your body. Oh, you could even make it like a whole thing about natural law. I'm trying to think of what's in the Constitution. I can't remember, but anyway, just that was a thought I've had. Like if you had mutants like that.
So wait, essentially like mutants in court, because that's what I'm picturing. Because you mentioned law, so does that mean Daredevil is gonna be like
representing people? I don't know
Yeah.
about. Like, I'm moving on
And what was
beyond
She-Hulk
Marvel.
represents in
That
response to that?
Marvel's deader than a. That's a dead horse. Let's move on.
Yeah.
as I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC's
Yeah,
the
I mean
same.
that's why. I mean, once again, like even when Jonathan Hickman when he was on the X-Men in X-Men for a while before Marvel Comics decided to screw him over, he actually touched on why some humans have a legitimate fear towards mutants through House of X and House of 10. And also he also did touch on the double standard on why the public adores like teams like the Avengers and Fantastic Four while being wary towards the X-Men or their Splinter teams.
So would that mean that Captain America is transmutant?
No, he's just a super soldier. But what
He's
I
an-
think might be
he's
the
an
reason
enhanced
why a
human.
lot of people fear the mutants is
I'm
probably
sorry.
just because of how much their abilities could actually potentially be scary. In fact, who's always the most feared mutant out of any of the other mutants?
What are you-
Outside of Magneto.
Wolverine?
No, it is Magneto.
I don't know.
Magneto. He's easily the most feared mutant. Why? Because his ability is that he could control metal. That's why he's
Well,
most
that's a-
feared.
But it's not just metal, but he can control it and manipulate the electromagnetic spectrum. So he can hijack and interfere with electronics.
Exactly.
Yeah, he has
Yeah,
magnetism.
and it's also
I am Magneto.
but he also represents
Master of the Magnet. Welcome
Mag-
to die.
well, excuse me, Magneto, like Max Eisenhardt, aka Eric Lensher, like he represents the extremist side of mutant kind who believe they are not only superior but they should be left to their own devices and should use like force to achieve change because he doesn't want to see mutants to be persecuted and killed as it's done to him and to individuals like during like World War II in Germany. However,
Exactly.
what he doesn't realize, and is again like this thanks to Claremont and other writers that either came before or while he was still on, Magneto realized that he has become the very thing that he hated after denying it and not actively listening to Charles and others that have told him for so long. When he attacked Kitty and realized that she was a kid. As a kid and also of the Jewish faith, he has finally acknowledged that he has fallen so hard from grace in his pursuit of making sure mutants are not used and manipulated during World War II.
Exactly.
Ooh, so William
Exactly.
Nova's idea is honestly, if we're being honest, the X-Men should have dealt with governments weaponizing mutants or mutants subverting governments a lot more. That's a cool idea.
That was actually
Yeah.
that was touched upon between the 90s and the 2000s, especially during Grant Morrison's time on the team when he was working on them. However, However, interestingly, when we look back in retrospect, they either weren't really explored in depth, or even if they were, or they were how their execution was mixed to poor.
Okay, remember, no mutant is an island, except for the one that was a literal island that got shot right into effing space.
Yeah, yeah. See, again, when Hickman was still on X-Men, he was building up. He was building up to restoring the X-Men to who they were, because clearly, during and after House of X and Powers of 10, then like Moira's 10th life is meant to show as the worst outcome for humans and mutants.
Still mad at the fact that they made her into a mutant in the
Yeah,
first place.
I know. I was upset. I was upset about it as
Best
well.
idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, like people. Well, some people forget that she was the first. She has not only been the X-Men's like longest like ally and supporter of mutants, but she was also the first human to be infected by the Legacy virus.
Which is actually
Eating
cured if you
something.
actually go to the good route in Ultimate Alliance 1. And yet they still never even touch upon that because they went to fucking Civil War.
Yeah.
Skip over the Galactus cliffhanger.
Yeah, I mean,
before Thanos.
I genuinely thought Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was actually gonna bring back the Galactus storyline, but instead
We
they
got
decided
Thanos.
to yeah.
Yeah, which that should have been
Because
stayed for
MCU
that.
shenanigans.
Yep, because yeah, even down to the costumes on most of the heroes, because that Thanos would be the main villain for Ultimate Alliance 3 if they kept Galactus as the main villain for Ultimate Alliance 2 instead of going to fucking Civil War.
Mm-hmm. And
Well,
also,
I mean,
So-
I know they did have like an interesting idea
Sorry, to
with
interrupt.
like with the fold, but
yeah, that's actually why in my that's why in the shared universe that I'm creating it won't be pulling a Marvel. Instead it'll do a DC. You see, where people at first are wary of superhumans, regardless if they're born or enhanced. They were wary at first, but over time they accepted them, and it will like touch on on concepts that we've been discussing earlier when it comes to the X-Men in their place in the Marvel universe.
mm-hmm.
I wonder if they would also go through a phase where, and this could be for Marvel or for like your universe, Dominic, where in some ways, because I've noticed like with Gen Z or millennials, they kind of want that oppression back in a weird way, because it's like their lives aren't as interesting because they're modern things. Like, yes, we was kings. Wait, no, that's something else entirely.
Hey,
I mean,
not
they're gonna
all-
get their wish. Only it's not gonna be them who gets oppressed. It's gonna be their grandchildren. At the
Also-
rate they're going.
Also, on a side tangent, not all millennials are entitled spoiled brats, and
Well,
also
I'm
also
millennial, so
I'm a millennial too. And it's just
I'm like the first year group of like Gen Z. Like, cause I know it begins in like '98.
Yeah,
Well,
Hungry
I would-
Marty basically said this right. It's basically a fetish that they just want to be oppressed, just to make themselves feel like they're just having conflict in their lives, as
Pretty
if
much.
their life is not interesting enough already.
However,
I don't know how to make that interesting.
as a silver lining, not everyone who is Gen Z are like what we've been experiencing for a good long while.
Yeah, some people aren't satisfied with just being. They have to be special.
because if everyone's special,
You are special. Special.
Excuse me.
Everyone is
I think
special.
you-
Okay, You listen here. Okay. Okay, I cannot even tell you how much this even pisses me off because I keep seeing this everywhere.
Wow.
Okay, we're
This
getting
goes back to
serious with the
basically
face reveal.
with if you say you're special, but try to make everyone else feel like they're special. Okay, here's the thing. If everyone else is special, then nobody's fucking special. No one would stand out if everyone is just freaking everybody is just special. And it goes by the saying, just because you're unique, it doesn't mean you're useful.
Fucking with nigga.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Final.
Thank you.
Now what?
Once again, like not everyone who is part of Gen Z like operate under that mentality, and I applaud, and I'm like those guys, like I respect, like even like if they're aware where like if they don't toe the line, like they would be like be ostracized by their peers, but at least like they're not kowtowing to that mentality because they're aware of how toxic it is.
Mm-hmm.
So when do you want to be flexible with an idea?
It depends if you're working with someone else or if you just worked on an idea for a while and you kind of go, that doesn't quite seem right, or you think about it in a different way and kind of make it a kaleidoscope.
And
In other words, like you think of you at first thought of your idea in this way. However, as you continue to develop and revise it, you start look at it in a different way.
I mean, I think flexibility works when it's like an expanded universe.
Oh yeah, look at the original Star Wars expanded universe. Like, it was an organic continuation of Star Wars, but not straying too far from its roots.
Damn straight.
Don't remind me about how cool
actually,
it
hold on,
used
hold
to
on,
be.
hold on. Yeah, he's right there.
yeah, you
Damn
don't want
straight.
Star to cry inside.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think I'll share an old idea just because I had a sci-fi idea. It was like sci-fi Sleeping Beauty, but like the roles were switched. So it's a guy who's asleep. It was called Briar King. And it had like a quirky band of friends. They're sent on a stupid mission in the middle of they call it the Briar system, and it's like all these black holes all twisted in around it and stuff. It was an idea, but I don't know. I think I was looking at how often, like I was thinking about if it was like an animated show or something, and I just looked at all these awesome shows like Treasure Planet or Titan AE or all these really fun things, and all of them didn't do very well. And I'm just like, yuck. I really want to put a lot of it on something that may not come to fruition. This is a really sad idea. I mean, maybe if it's like a Sword and Planet aspect, I never really fleshed out, but it's interesting. But
Who the hell is eating?
huh?
Somebody's eating.
Yeah, I heard
Oh.
crunching as well.
Oh, you know what? That's me with the paper. I'm like folding.
Okay.
What are
Folding
you
is-
making?
If you need me to
Origami?
mute, I can mute.
She's working, technically.
I'm kind of curious what she's making.
Oh, so they're cards. So it's perforated. So I fold them down and stuff, and I and just open it up, and that's the crunching sound. So it's a CPR thing. So it's like the certification cards when you're done. So you break them open and it certifies that you went to these cards. So it's really cool, actually. It's just a very tedious job.
I was
So
about to say, it sounds needlessly complicated.
Is it like for shipping?
huh?
Is it for like shipping items?
No, it's for so it's a CPR card. So once you pass a class, like you'll have jobs like if you are like a childcare worker, if you're a teacher or something like that, and they require you to have a CPR card. You take a CPR class, and then this is like your certification card. So instead of like a certificate of completion, they give you like a card instead of like a big ol' certification from university. That's useless. Sorry. This one, it actually would say, okay, I've done like adult CPR and that sort of thing. So you perforate. So it's like got holes and you fold it and you open it and everything. That way it's done nicely and stuff. It's a great way to. It's actually quite soothing. I like it. It's just very long to do. But if it's really bugging you, I can mute it in between.
No, as long as we know what it is, it's not. I just thought somebody was chewing in my damn ear.
No
Smacking as
chewing.
you're chewing.
Oh no, Eloise, where'd you go?
She'll be back.
Oh,
All right.
She always come back.
I also
Yeah.
like to make one announcement, and this is some unfortunate news. Remember when I said that I would be doing a recap of the Metal Gear series?
Uh-oh.
Mm.
Yeah, the script is done. It will not be the first episode.
Hello.
Glad you're
Sorry,
back, Eloise.
guys. I
Okay.
launched myself into orbit.
Oh no.
Yeah. Reason being why I decided to can that and decide to make this. The recap will be on next August, which will be on Hideo Kojima's 60th birthday, because he's gonna turn 59 somewhere by next week.
Oh,
Script. Yep.
all right.
Wow.
So yeah, the Metal Gear recap will not be this year, but will be next year, because the script is already at least about 20 pages long. Because since the series is about 11 games with a canonical timeline, but my fucking god, this series is so long. It's basically a movie series. Because I mean, I know Hideo Kojima's a movie buff, but still. But my god, it is so freaking long. Even when I got to Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, which is so monstrously long. Oh my god. Even when I get to some things, I know I would have to like get straight to the plot to recap everything and connect everything with the Metal Gear series. Certain characters have to be cut out. So like the Beauty and the Beast unit from Metal Gear Solid 4, or most of the Winds of Destruction unit from Metal Gear Rising. Something like that. My god, it's still a freaking nightmare. But video game recap will still be up and about on my channel, which will be on Christmas. And I'm not going to say exactly what it is yet, because it is a Christmas gift to everyone else in the UN Space Fleet, and especially to you guys. I will not say what it is, but it will be on. It is a Christmas gift for all of you guys.
Well, thank you, man. Much appreciated.
Man, oh man. Final, you spoiling us.
Okay. Well, maybe I have a
But
more recent.
I will make something for Hideo Kojima. I will make
Hang
something for
on.
Hideo Kojima for his birthday. For his birthday today.
Go on, Star.
Raphael, hey Mikey, you think you could chew any louder? I can still hear in this ear.
Yeah, that sounds like Raph, all right.
Oh, it's like actually that reminds me of an old reference. Not because I ever watched a lot of TV, but my parents did, and they would quote the what is it, that Chex commercial? Hey Mikey, he likes it. I don't know. It's like It's a strange thing. Like I know like 70s and 80s references, which makes no sense. Why I would or
I mean, I was still thinking like in Ice Age in the first one when they were just trying to clean the diaper from the baby, and they just start hitting Sid in the head, and then Diego's like, "Hey, do that again. He likes it. It's making me feel better too."
That's probably what the reference.
I love that movie.
I actually was like watching a little bit of it because a friend of mine's son watches it a lot, and I was like, oh, it's actually not that bad. I've never seen it. Like, like I missed that portion of it.
I think the first Ice Age has aged really well in comparison from its sequels.
Hmm.
I don't know. The sequels looked pretty interesting. Like, but then again, I hadn't watched the initial thing.
Yeah,
Well,
because
actually,
I just began thinking about this. Like Ice Age, the first one, you know that feeling that you get whenever there'd be a movie franchise where the first one is so good, but yet the moment it starts turning into a franchise, you then suddenly start to see the problems with it.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
it should be more self-contained anyway.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's pretty much how I started thinking about it when thinking about Ice Age. Like I love the first one, and then I started looking at some of the sequels, like Ice Age: The Meltdown,
The Melt-
which is kind
yeah.
of fine. Yeah, Ice Age: The Meltdown. That's the second one. It's kind of fine. But then when we later get to Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs, I was just like, okay, we're in a time of mammals here, and then now is the time you start introducing freaking dinosaurs. Until somewhere in the future you start introducing UFOs.
Yeah, you see that it sounds like they're pulling a Savage Land.
Yep.
Mm.
Are you crazy? Yeah, Leo, I'm crazy. Okay, a loony. Okay. Why? 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 Oh, I don't know. Cause I wanted to redecorate. A couple of throw pillows, a TV news reporter. What do you think? That usually gets a laugh, but I guess I didn't do it right. Okay.
Yeah, because none of us even get what the heck that's even from.
Yeah, some references are lost to me because completely different culture, and sometimes I miss out on certain movies. Mhm.
Oh, good one, Neil Star. The Ice Age discovers the wildest world of Jurassic Park. Ah,
I
hey.
mean, that's when they started introducing dinosaurs, and I was just like, and yet suddenly Sid now just looks over
Get
3
on
baby
the
dinosaurs, and yet
of
suddenly
the
just calls them
dinosaur.
mama. I mean, I get that it's kind of a joke in the first movie. It's just like when Diego makes, he's like, yeah, maybe I think he'll grow fur and a long skinny neck and call you mama.
Well, but when you mentioned UFOs, you could actually make a sort of decent movie out of ancient astronauts researching humanity kind of
That's
deal.
true.
I mean, humanity already exists in Ice Age, but yet we're just suddenly focused on the mammals
Yeah,
specifically.
I honestly find it odd that in the first movie, that was actually the only appearance we saw of humans.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow! I forgot how loud that is. Okay.
Yeah, I see Fizz's comment. There was a UFO in the first movie. Yeah, that was there for a joke.
Yeah,
Hey
In fact,
man,
there's-
it's still canon.
Yeah,
true.
but in fact, the baby even makes a little Star Trek reference where he does this.
Blah. Live free and live long.
Live long and prosper.
Actually, that's it's
Will you keep up, please? I don't need to keep track of one baby.
Oh gosh, I forgot. It's actually a Jewish reference that
Yeah.
I guess Spock used it from the blessing that the rabbi would give, and he gave that to Spock initially.
Yeah,
Oh,
Leonard Nimoy was Jewish, so yeah, he did like let's throw it in, and it worked.
Yeah.
it did work. What was I thinking of? But you know what? I think not to talk about crappy remakes, Amazon Lord of the Rings, but someone said something, and I thought it was really quite interesting. And he was like an older guy who watched Star Trek, and he said, "You know, the difference between these actors, they all look like shampoo models, whereas in the original Peter Jackson movies, they're all very distinctive looking. Like Galadriel, she's beautiful, but she's also kind of creepy looking. Like there's something ethereal. All the elves look like from Liv Tyler to Hugo Weaving have this very ethereal, but kind of severe and weird uh facial features that they didn't pick people that had that distinct look. And I thought about it too because they the queen that they have for who's like black or whatever. I'm not talking about the dwarf. I'm talking about um the Numenorian queen. And they said her face was very fair. And I just thought about it. I'm like, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to pick a white person. There are very fair Asians or biracial people as long as you got the right look. But that they weren't distinct looking or he was comparing Spock. Spock is a very weird looking, not a bad looking dude, but he's a weird looking dude. Like where it's not like overly perfectly proportioned sort of thing. I don't know. Where I went on that trend. Sorry, guys. How are we doing for time, by the way?
I have no idea.
Um,
I'm in a
Well-
different time zone.
Well, from my perspective, we started at 6 and it's 7:42 now. So
It's 9:42 on my end.
Yeah,
That's
same
fine.
here. I know
It's
that you
fine,
said you were trying to go to bed early or something. So, not that I was trying to get off or anything. I'm I know
it's the
you.
weekend.
It is a weekend. We can play. Yay! Woohoo!
Party in the house.
Yay! This is my extent of partying these days. Yeah,
Just sitting on our butts.
talking with friends. But it's good. I think it's good. It keeps us healthy, keeps us freaky. Well, I would say any other ideas about ideas? Okay, I've got it. I just want more like guys saving broads. What is wrong with that? Damn it.
I mean,
There's nothing wrong at all.
that's what I'm already
Ah!
doing. That's what I'm already doing in Light and
You-
Darkness, but they're
you're
just
doing
already
a-
there.
You're doing
They're
a
just-
very good cat impression.
Wait, me?
Yes.
How so? By like stomping on the table or just I'm just
A bit of everything.
everything?
Everything.
Oh, okay.
Everything. Everything.
anything.
So basically, if I was a
I'll get
furry,
you.
I'd be a
I'll
cat
make it a
girl.
bloody
you.
accident.
I mean,
Oh man,
you are the other cat. I think.
well,
Am I wrong?
I mean, from what you were saying,
You mean
what you
the
were
other
saying,
cat
Claire,
is
the
Catherine,
characters in my story.
Sorry.
You're okay. I mean, what you just said there, like guys saving Braun or something,
Broads.
saving broads. I mean, that's what they're pretty much. My heroes are pretty much going to be doing in Light and Darkness, but they're just basically restoring the light and the world plunged in the darkness just to save the world because they are the warriors of light.
Well, I will say this in Bouncers, there is a scene where I introduce a flashback between two lovers, or at least in the early stages of two lovers, where the guy steps in with the other guy who wouldn't take no for an answer from the main character, and she appreciates that even though she can totally floor the guy. A true gentleman, she says.
I
Uh-huh.
love a woman who can kick my ass.
The problem is they just don't do
And
it
then-
right.
and
They
they-
just
And I
strong
and I just want
women.
to end the. I just want to end the conversation where she stands up and she towers above him, and he says, "Well, it's a good thing I stepped in."
Oh, I love it.
It's like, oh gosh, I think I said it on Twitter. Not that that means anything, but it's like a roofer, and he was just hitting on this girl, and the girl finally says, "Dude, I'm too tall for you," and he responds to, "I'm scared of heights."
Ooh, oh my! She put prawns in the pool. You got anything more to add to that?
You said that with such confidence. How can you be suddenly afraid of heights, but yet say that with such confidence?
Hmm.
Well, he's a roofer, so he wasn't wrong. Reisman says ladies all the time. It's one of his favorite parts of being a crime
Well, at least he's
fighter.
honest.
Rise up, saves all the chicks.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just I guess I'm also just tired of really tired of just the strong woman don't need no man bullshit. I'm like, dude, this has been done to fucking death. Or overly
like
snarky characters. Just
Good
You're not the only
balance.
you're not the only one.
All I'm
I mean,
asking
everyone's tired. Everyone's tired of it, including women themselves.
especially
This is
ladies.
a good, healthy balance.
Hmm.
And we
had-
give a good, healthy balance. Like Beast
We
saves
had that
Bale.
years ago.
Bale helps Beast back into the castle and nurses him back to health. Can we get that balance again?
Well, it needs to be put back to the forefront now more than ever.
Y'all remember that exchange, right? He saves her ass and she saves his ass by dressing his wounds.
Hmm.
When was the last time a woman was a medic? Even though they don't have that much medical expertise or have some, or rather,
Oh
what,
I mean, Sakura from Naruto.
what I'm saying is, when was the last time we had
shit.
like Bowen from Dragonheart, where Kara dresses his wounds after being stabbed by Einen, and he says, "You have a healer's touch."
Yes, but what kind
Another
of heat?
Another example is Esmeralda treating Polyphemus' wounds after he was stabbed by Frollo and his men.
Phoebus,
Phoebus.
shot with an arrow.
I don't think.
Helping John. Damn, I'm blanking on his name now.
John
John Smith.
John Smith.
Man, Disney, all the Disney princesses, like, yeah, even the ones that, like, oh my gosh, they all rescued people left and right. They were rescuing, like, all of them were rescuing their dudes, like Ariel does. And oh my gosh, that's the only thing I listened to the musical, and they took out the sequence where Eric rescues her back, and that pissed me off. Like,
Where did this happen?
Seriously?
it was in the Broadway musical,
What?
and they added music.
What?
Yeah, they took it out, and I was like,
How
Of
the fuck
what?
she set herself then? What did she do?
she ends up breaking the shell herself or something. It just is
What?
like,
No.
Oh.
No.
bullshit.
Wait.
And it was wrong. It's wrong and wriggly.
Wait, her cute furry animals saved her on that front.
I don't know. It was wrong. It was wrong.
So it's
What else
wrong
can you
for
do on a
her
Broadway
pets
show like
to
that?
help her out now.
The Broadway show was perfect except for that. It just, I was so
Wait, what
kind
else?
of
What else can you do? Like
annoyed.
make Little Shop of Horrors have a still keep the same ending, but yet have like that little kaiju-esque destruction in the director's cut ending of Little Shop of Horrors, like it was in the 1986 version.
I thought initially it was a bad ending anyway.
I mean, it
Like everybody
is.
died. But then in the movie they changed it and it all
is.
worked out.
That's the
Crazy.
actual proper ending for the stage show, not for the theatrical cut, really.
Yeah, because they just like somewhere that's green. Oh wait, that's I'm getting my
No,
Alan
it's
Ring.
don't. No, it's don't feed the plant.
Oh yeah, that's
There
they
right
used to-
beside you. You don't need no makeup.
Daniel Wolf.
Oh no. What are you reading something upside down, my guy?
No,
No.
it's forward. It's right side up.
This is just,
What's the
this
book?
has just become a tradition now. Oh, I actually found this at a comic shop. It's actually called Superheroes in Modern Mythology by Richard Reynolds.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
okay.
I still need to get that book.
Yeah, this is actually at a comic shop in one of the nearby towns, actually. So yeah, this anytime when use this way.
Wait, what
Anytime
was-
when this dude, whenever he's gonna pull off something funny, or when he just starts singing terribly, or just tease Leia with like pictures of hot guys taking off their shirts,
Oh
this
wait,
has become a tradition.
I'm slipping.
Yep. Well,
Oh, here we go
Yeah.
again.
Well, Leia's not really here now, but anytime when he does something like that or anything else, like whenever he starts singing terribly, or if he's just gonna like, whatever he's just gonna be doing is geeking out, this is just gonna become a tradition. I'm just gonna start reading like nothing is happening at all, because like I have no idea
Okay,
whatever the
leave
hell's
Eloise
going
out.
on,
There you go, Eloise.
because I have no idea whatever the hell's just gonna be going on, but
I'm not
There you
even
go.
looking at the screen. I'm just typing.
That's genius. That's a genius idea. We're like, okay, he's just then we can ignore him.
yeah.
Even though technically it's his show, but
I mean, yeah, it's just anytime this happens, I'm just always like, I just feel like
I
I'm the
would say,
eyes of
Make this show fun. I would
yeah,
say.
I just
make
feel like
this
I'm the
show
eyes
fun.
of this, just like
and
with
it is a
Edmore.
cool opportunity.
Look,
We will say.
Look, Michael. If it's any consolation, I'm the straight man to this guy.
Yeah, I was just like,
Every funny guy needs one.
it's just like Winston Zedmore and Ghostbusters. Like, I have worked with these guys. And these things are real, and in these my days, I have seen shit that'll make you white.
Oh,
Yeah, I try my best to try to even sound at least remotely like Ernie Hudson, but
right to this day. Well, since we have, well, in a way, segue to Ghostbusters. Like Ghostbusters, the video game, it is still part of the canon, and Ghostbusters Afterlife is the fourth movie.
I mean,
Enough
yeah.
said.
I mean, we are gonna get another Ghostbusters game by sometime soon, which is gonna be a sequel to Afterlife now.
And
now-
there's also essentially Ghostbusters 5. Right when you stop and think about it.
You're
Yeah.
welcome, Neil.
Yeah, because both Ghostbusters video game is 3, Afterlife
Yeah,
is
'cause,
4.
We still get Ray and Winston back in the cast because now Ray is still at the comic shop. Winston's now gonna be the one running the firehouse now because he's now a successful businessman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
I mean, I'm
and
not
he
sure if-
did, and it
I'm not
was
sure if
meant.
podcast might make a cameo in here because he's gonna be now part of Ray is now part of his podcast because podcast is actually called podcast because he's actually got a podcast because he acts exactly like Ray exactly because he's full of heart and yet he loves discovering the
He's an
paranormal, and yet
aficionado.
likes to make his podcasts about he's exactly dead on like Ray. But I'm not sure if he might make a cameo in the game, but it would be fun to have him in there. I'm not sure if I doubt that any of the other casts for that have been in Afterlife are going to be in there because I don't even want to see them like busting ghosts again like they are, because they're still somewhere in like their pre-teens.
Oh,
Even when they're a
yeah.
bit older, even when they're going to be at least a bit older in the game, like whenever there's going to be like taking place after sometime
What we talking about?
after there's going to be a new Ghostbusters game coming out that's going to be taking place after Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh,
Mhm.
sweet.
Yeah, and
But
when Afterlife came out,
there
like
are going to be new recruits.
so much like with Ghostbusters video game, we played as the Rookie.
Yeah, I guess he's right. What's your name again, kid? No names, Ray. I don't want to get too attached to this kid. Just in case you can't remember how the last guy.
Yeah, and also like in the end of Ghostbusters the video game, like the guys did talk about spreading out their business across the United States, and the Rookie was offered the opportunity to lead a Chicago division of Ghostbusters.
I thought it was somewhere in New Jersey or something.
There's an older.
He was given a choice of either to start the new Ghostbusters either in New Jersey or Chicago.
I mean, there is a Ghostbusters Chicago division in real life.
And it was explored. It was explored in the comics as well.
And the West End Games role-playing game. Yeah, there was a Ghostbusters tabletop RPG. They even had like a cutout for like, here's your official Ghostbusters license, like that you could show to people. Well, the game master.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, of course there would be, because you're actually part of the Ghostbusters. You're now hired for the job. Like, beautiful, you're hired. Ray Stantz, Beckman, welcome to. Then just gives Winston the track. Welcome aboard. Literally, I swear to God, every line in the movie is so quotable. You can literally just quote from the entire film. Like this reminds me about the time you tried to drill a hole through your head. Remember that? That would have worked if you hadn't stopped me.
It's true. This man has no dick.
Yeah. That has like a very libertarian bent to that movie. Like, seriously.
No?
Then die.
Ray, when
Ray?
someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Yes.
All right.
Choose the champion.
Oh, I see what's happening here. Oh, and what happened? It was an
Already gone off
accident.
on a Ghostbuster.
It was an accident.
Oh my God. I mean, they even quote this in Afterlife too. They even quote this in the IDW comics. You're a god? No, die. You're a god? Yes, die. Lose-lose situation.
Yep. And I remember like people were surprised to see like J.K. Simmons like playing as Evo Shandor. And yeah, but however, like for those like who have played the game, which greatly like gives Evo more depth, because he is
in the game looks exactly like Jake. What he looks like in Afterlife is exactly like in the game.
Yeah. Plus, because
Despite that, he also possessed the mayor, who is actually played by Bill Murray's brother.
Plus, because like he is like deep into the dark dark magic. Because Shandor was deep into dark magic, like he was able to preserve his body even after his death. So when you
Evo Shandor, I found it in Tobit's Spirit Guide. He was also a doctor. Performed a lot of unnecessary surgery on patients. Then in 1920, he started performing a ritual of a society. Let me guess. Ghost worshippers. Yes. No studying. I'm trying to remember what else was afterwards. I know he said something else, but like still revolving around the plan.
Whoa! The traveler has come. Nobody choose anything. Did you choose anything? No. Did you? My
No,
mind's
my mind's
totally blank.
blank.
I didn't choose anything. I couldn't help it. It just popped in there. What?
What?
What just
What
popped
just
in
popped
there?
in there?
I I tried to think. Look!
No, it can't be. What is it? It can't be. What did you do, Ray? Oh shit.
It's the Stay
Okay,
Puft
we're already just
Marshmallow Man.
we're just already quoting literally the ending of the movie, and yet we're just geeking out about Ghostbusters.
Oh my gosh, the Scolari brothers!
I mean, yeah, there are some quotable lines in Ghostbusters too, like "You worthless piece of slime! You ignorant, disgusting blob! Nothing but a short-stained molecule! You foul, obnoxious maw! Nothing but a weak electrical chemical wand! But I have seen some disgusting crimes in my time, but you just technically you're just
Wait, that's enough.
this is what you do in your spare time. Peter, this is incredible stuff. This is some incredible stuff here. Whatever the stuff is, it responds to human emotional states. Mood slime.
Mood slime.
Oh, baby. You mean this
Oh,
stuff
no.
actually feeds off bad vibes, like a cop in a donut factory. We've been running tests to see what kind of reactions we can get out of it. What kind of tests? Well, we sing to it, talk to it, say supportive, nurturing things to it. You're not sleeping with it, are you, Ray? Oh, you. It's always the quiet ones. You hound. Oh man.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad that Bill Murray and Harold Ramis were able to reconcile with each other before before Ramis's death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
it's
have been
great.
hearing a lot about that.
Yeah, I mean, in the
Because I
past,
was
like they
not even
were.
aware that something like that was even that even
Yeah,
happened.
I didn't know. I didn't know it either. Like you can tell, like off screen, like off the cameras, like they were close friends until Groundhog Day happened, which pretty much like caused like the estrangement between the two,
Mm-hmm.
and it
I was
took
like, wait,
and it
what?
took.
Did they never even reconcile to? Wait, did they never even reconcile when they got to the game? But then it said they did. I was like, oh, okay, they did. Whew.
No, yeah. So like I said, before they made the game, like Bill and Harold were able to reconcile with each other, which restored their friendship.
Which that I'm pretty much the most thankful for.
Oh yeah, I remember when news of Afterlife came out. I was wondering like how they're going to handle Egon since Harold has kicked the bucket. I honestly thought that they were going to get Maurice LaMarche to play as Egon.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, thing is, it's pretty hard to convince Bill Murray that anything might be good these days. Like, even it's hard to convince him like any role that he would be given. Even when he just happens to be in a role, he'd just be like, "Okay, yeah, I'm here. Here's your few lines. Goodbye." Because I mean,
I mean, can you blame him? You do understand. You can't help but understand like where he's coming from.
I mean, he did say in an interview like he just likes to be there. Like he doesn't really like used to be as energetic. Like he looks like he's about to be close to death. I mean, he did look like he's about to be close to death in Ghostbusters, but I mean, it's really hard to convince her. He just likes to be there.
Oh well, that's well. Plus, like he is also not only be a frequent collaborator with Wes Anderson.
He probably
Yeah,
wants to keep his schedule clear for whatever he's doing.
mhm.
Well,
I guess
especially
I'll
here.
just start ending on this with this question.
All right.
Or at least I'll actually no. Let me rephrase that. I'll end on this with anybody who has an idea. You need to take consideration to what you're doing with the idea. You cannot just have an idea, you need to see it through. You need to take time to work really hard on it because an idea does not feed you, nor does it pay your bills. Period. You just have an idea, but if you have no motivation or no fortitude to see it through, to see it to completion, or see it to its full potential, then it's just that, an idea. So you just saying you have an idea does not make the idea just come true. You saying that you had the idea first and somebody else execute the idea for you, let alone took it and executed for you, and you didn't do anything to do anything with it, then yeah. So don't wait for the idea to sprout legs and start walking on its own. You help it walk. So what are you talking about?
Preach.
Speak the truth, man.
Like, make the idea become a reality. Don't just leave it that way.
Mm-hmm. So anybody who says they got an idea, you better get started on working on it.
But don't let the idea have you.
That's also
Just don't let the idea have you.
Don't let it consume you. The thing is that, you know, a lot of people say I have an idea. I'm like, yeah, sure. What have you done with it? Oh, I just have an idea. Okay. Do you have any resources? No. Do you have any sketches? No. Do you have any blueprints? No. None of that. Do you have any support system to help you? No. Oh, okay. Come by in 5 weeks until you have something to work with this idea. Is it idiot proof? Is the idea idiot proof? Maybe. That doesn't help with my confidence in this idea. And this is one thing we also missed about talking about this whole little small topic in our chill stream. Ideas within the workplace. Don't always settle for just doing the job every day. You can also bring in new ideas on how to get the job done right and efficiently. I'm sure, Star, you have done that plenty of times in many a job. I'm sure Eloise have done that in many jobs plenty of times. Same with you, Dom. I'm not sure if you have a job or not, or had jobs.
I've been doing well. I've been doing this through my college courses.
Yep.
I've thrown a few ideas to managers and the bigger bosses, and some have actually gone through. I mean, the type of protective goggles we got, those came because I complained about the old goggles being flimsy and breaking all the time. I lost at least like 5 just because I had to crawl under a machine every damn day. And there were a few other things that have improved because of my complaints.
And while you have an idea, you better make damn sure that you're a creative or a very creative person. If you don't have any of that, you just find ways to be productive until you start building up your creative juices and work off your creativity once you have discovered your creativity. Because truth be told, everybody is a creative in their own right. They just don't realize that potential, or at least they don't recognize that potential, even if they're doing the most mundane shit. It's the reason why man got as far as they did since the dawn of time.
A concept I think you're getting at is be faithful with the little. So start small, and even if you don't have to have the most fancy machines and stuff. A lot of it is being faithful with the type of paperwork or whatever you're working with. For example, I have an idea, but right now what I'm doing is I'm kind of like apprenticing under someone else who's published their own comics. I'm illustrating for them. and I'll tell about it when it's ready. You
Neat.
can check out my Twitter if you want. I might post more photos this weekend as I work on it. I'm just trying to get a bunch of other stuff done at the same time. But start small, and just write a little bit. Like, I don't have huge chapters like Final has. But even just writing a little bit and exploring, that can give you ideas and to bounce around
You
and
got
kind
to
of do
give a little more than you take.
You got to give more than you take.
You're just a player in a much bigger plan. You gotta give it
Oh God,
all that you can. Damn,
that
I
was
just
underrated. That was so.
what?
That was an underrated sequel.
Damn it!
Joseph Prince of Dreams. That was
I did it
underrated.
twice in 1 week. Did it twice in 1 week, referencing Joseph King of Dreams. First time with the goals stream, and now with the idea stream.
Oh, I was trying to explain with the goal stream. So it's called. I'm in a program, and right now it's an entrepreneurial program, and one of the things we talk about is SMART goals. So it's something like sayable, achievable, trackable, or something like that. So basically, it has to be something or accountable, I guess is another thing, and but that it all builds up, and so taking practical steps is really important, I think. And you can start small, so don't be besmirch small beginnings, because every little bit counts, and yeah, be faithful in the little.
Bottom line, everybody, keep it simple and work hard and turning your ideas into a reality, because sooner or later, your all the hard work that you've done in bringing your original work of fiction to life, it'll pay off.
Or that
Mm.
dumbass show.
Even great novels can start from small beginnings. A few written down notes, a line of dialogue. In a hole there lived a hobbit.
I'm sure the Bear of the North have something to say on this too.
Well, ideas are ideas, but they're not the only thing that there is to creating something. You have to manifest it in a physical way. So you gotta shed some sweat on it.
Boy, if you can't even pull a protractor out of your wiener slot and turn, then you shouldn't even bother trying to be with the king!
What?
I have no freaking clue.
Me neither.
I don't know.
This just feels so out of context with the ending that we're establishing.
Essentially,
That's me
if you
with
don't-
anybody who drags
you
their
can't-
feet on creating something.
yeah, if you can't create something that's physical, that you can show someone, or that you can present it, even if it's just like on the digital screen. Like, if you can't present someone something, then you shouldn't even bother trying to be with all the other people that made it, I guess. Or like
even
compare yourself to their level, because you're still setting the first stone, the
Also,
stumbling blocks.
Everybody knows you never go full retard. You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
struggling to find
Yeah,
something to say,
and
but
this and this
hold my
is,
word
this is
salad.
what we've been this is what we've been experiencing for a good long while with a majority of modern day creatives. However, not all of them. There are gems. There are gems that have not gone as Osiris eloquently put it. They have not gone full retard.
Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister.
Oh no.
Imagine if that was the UN Space initiation.
Uh,
Anyways, I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight. Those 7 of you guys, and those 9 just the motherfuckers that keep popping in and out. Thank you, Star, for joining us as a guest. Hopefully, we'll make you official when we decide to make this a habit of doing Friday streams sometimes, from time to time.
it's every other Friday, man, and I can't guarantee that. I can just be an honorary member.
Every other Friday. Especially when the little storyteller is not being fussy.
Yeah, or rather at his father's house, which is good.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I'd like to thank everybody for contributing with the ideas, especially my pal Greenie for contributing her ideas, and of course Neo. And man, I'm so hungry I forgot who contributed. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry in advance. You guys are valued though, very valued. So, I'd like to thank all my comrades, the lady storyteller, the mother of all sailors, Star Storyteller. This is usually how you would sign out.
All right.
It's the Sailor Moon or something.
What? No. I'm sorry. Yep. Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for hosting us as well.
I was hoping on the spot. I will right wrongs and well, fuck.
Wait, what? No. I already
beg your
got in trouble
pardon?
with- I already got
right wrongs and nurture your hopes, and that means you.
Yay. So keep on working, you guys. You can do it. Don't give up.
I'm hungry and drunk.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. I feel ya.
How can you be hungry while also
My
drunk at the
kidney
same
is
time?
killing me.
I'm
Not my
drunk off
kidney.
of starvation.
My liver. Shit.
The Hound of the South, Dominic Powell.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us in tonight's live stream. Like everyone said, if you got an idea, develop it, revise it, and if you want to incorporate everyone else in your endeavor, don't hesitate. If you got any more topics of discussion that you would like us to cover, make sure you put it down in the comment section down below. As you do that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Wolf10 Media's channel. And one last thing, even if things tend to get darker in the day, the light of hope always shines through. Never lose that, and also look to a brighter future.
Unsubscribing me. First it bounces up to 323, then it bounces down to 322, and now it's back to 323. Is this a joke y'all trying to play on me? It's a good joke.
I'm not sure. But yeah. But anyway. Alright, don't lose hope. Look into a brighter future, and if you want to bring an original idea to life, don't give up on it. This is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell signing off. Hope you all have a good rest of your night.
The Bear of the North, Eloise Dawdle.
Well, everyone, I hope you have a good night. And if you're struggling with an idea, just write it down and sleep on it.
And ask your friends about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't drive them crazy.
And
just remember
and
your
don't
research too.
don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to ask for advice from professionals.
Even somebody who's an upcoming professional.
Just make sure to stay humble.
Mm-hmm.
That too. The man, the Vlad, the League of Legend himself, Artificer Yoni.
From the deep green forests of Finland, signing out. Artificer Johnny, out.
The Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends, and make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to Wolf10 Media if you haven't already. By the way, check out his Patreon and his subscribe to start down in the description below the video. And also go subscribe to me if you haven't already. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, the Metal Gear recap is sadly postponed to next year in August.
Damn.
Because, my God, the series is so fucking long. It's practically a movie series. But there will be a recap this Christmas. Once again, it will not be by this month. It will be on Christmas, because I made this for the UN's. I will not say what it is, because I made this as a Christmas gift for all the UN Space Fleet and also to you, the audience. And so this is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off. And remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
Unfortunately, the Lady of Valley wasn't able to join us today. Hopefully, she'll join us another time whenever her schedule is free. But thank you, Leia, for attempting to try. And this is for you. We all love you. None but love. So, and another thing about one thing to leave you guys with, especially those who are up and coming and trying to get their writing out there or whatever it is that they're trying to create. Any moment where you're sleeping or not doing anything productive with your work is another step given to the SJ hobos, while they're still continuing to tear down and destroy anything that we hold dear, whereas we're doing our best to try to preserve all that we hold dear. Original storytelling, first and foremost, stable work environment above all else, excellent writing, or even archetypes that still work to today's standards and still are beloved by today's standards. Tropes that we all don't mind because they're still effective in storytelling, especially when people are taking those tropes and molding them in new stuff every single day. But the moment you take your foot off the pedal, they get another lead. And to quote Morpheus, they're holding all the doors. No, they are guarding all the doors. They're holding all the keys at this point. They're in the industry. I've said this 2 years ago of 2020. Yeah, 2020. I said this by the end of 2020. I said it's at this point we might have to build our own studios, our own industry, separate from Hollywood, away from Hollywood. And until that day comes where we finally have a studio of our own, or each and every studio that's not owned by the woke machine or Hollywood machine, and we have our own industry built off of that, we have to keep ourselves clean as best we can. Stay honest. Try to be transparent. Be truthful about yourself and your abilities, and try to work off that limitation. Try to work off that build off on that as well. Try to make stable friendships. Try to collaborate and keep each other honest. Yes, you can have competition with each other, but always make sure it's friendly competition. You should never, ever, ever try to backstab one another because they were getting in your way. You should always, at this point, guys, support each other in any way, shape, form you can. Try not to let the muck of envy affect you, just because someone else is making it and you're not. Because at this point, we're going to need each other. And whether we consider each other as friends or associates, we're going to be looking for each other when we need that. When we need that support.
Just
so
remember.
please.
Just want to say one thing. Just remember that in the indie landscape, especially, like network with each other, promote each other's work. and
Mhm.
all tide, a rising tide raises all boats.
That and honest critique. Remember, honest critique. If you you gotta listen to honest critique with each other. You gotta be able to critique each other and still take the blows. That way you can effectively improve and get better with your craft. And I'm saying this right now, guys, because I said this on RJ's I said this in RJ's video about the dying of the woke. And I said at this point we can compete each other all we want, but that's fun game for us. That's going to turn into a fun pastime for us. When it comes to competing with these motherfuckers, they will cave. Why?
Mhm.
They don't like competition. They never can handle competition. So as we're slowly reconstructing and restructuring and rebuilding our own industry or building our own industry, we'll be a giant that they cannot defeat. I'm
Mhm.
encouraging all you guys who hear this. This is my message to you guys. Do what you can, and again, try to keep your principles stable, because these guys will try anything, but eventually they'll lose. So again, they can get that. You give them that inch, they'll take that mile. But eventually, when you got your stuff refined, and restructured and all that stuff, oh man, you'll blow past them like that to the finish line. Because seriously, their stuff takes damn near years to make. Have you guys noticed that?
Oh yeah.
Lots of
Well,
talk
well.
about what they're trying to do, but look how long it takes for them to get there. And they cannot blame COVID on that one, because think about it like this: there was no COVID by the time they were making their shit, and even look how long it took for them to make that shit. So imagine, so fancy that. But thank you guys for everything, and thank you for being here always, and thank you for your support and always sticking around despite my antics and despite all of our antics, and always fucking up, like just throwing the flow over our shoulders and shit, and just winging it half the time. But we do try in the future we'll try to structure this a lot better. We'll be making improvements in the future. At least I will be myself, helping you guys out and stuff like that. You guys are with me?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah, big time.
I plan to do
Yep.
this as long as I can, and I'm 35 right currently of this year. So who knows what 36 will bring me, and who knows what 37 and so on and so forth will bring me. My idea is to see bouncers completed at least. What about you guys?
I mean,
Yep.
I'm more the same with most of my stories. Whatever I'm currently focusing on right now, I would have other ideas in mind, but I would be focusing on this one, my current work specifically.
Yeah, that was
I
cool.
want to start my own universe, kind of like how Ripper is doing with his. Except, yeah, just take that night idea and expand it from there. Cause like that's only the night idea I had. It was for Britain, but like
Yeah.
each like different parts of the world have a different system.
So welcome to Wolf Chan Media, your werewolf. Remind you guys once again, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.